Copyright is part of the U.S. law that protects original works in fixed, tangible mediums. When a work is committed to a fixed medium, it is immediately and automatically copyrighted. This protection includes published, unpublished, and internet-created works. What is fair use? Copyright may protect the rights of the creator, but it does not mean they have absolute monopoly over their works. Fair use is a legal exemption of the copyright law. It is not stealing. People must have the ability to share knowledge and learn from one another. Fair use allows us to use original compositions of others in order to promote and advance education. Very often, materials used in education will fall under the fair use doctrine, but not without qualification. How do we determine fair use? There are almost as many misconceptions among educators about fair use as there are stars in the sky. You may have heard, well, you can use 10% of a textbook, 30 seconds of a song, or up to 300 words of a journal article. None of this is true. To determine whether fair use doctrine applies to a work, you must ask yourself these questions. What is the purpose and character of the work? It needs to be directly related to your course. Did you transform the original work or its intended use? Works cannot be used verbatim, and images must be transformed. Did you use only the amount necessary? Large amounts of material are harder to justify as fair use. Does the use of the material displace its core market? The use of the material cannot take away from the author's profits. Is it factual or creative? Facts, statistics, and events are almost always fair use. Creative works require transformativeness. Is it consumable? Materials like workbooks that are meant to be used once and discarded are never fair use. Transformativeness is the most important factor in determining fair use. The Teach Act of 2002 and fair use. The Teach Act of 2002 makes further allowances for distance learning and technology in education. However, it does not replace fair use. Any source materials used must still meet the criteria of fair use. What are Creative Commons licenses? Creative Commons is an organization that enables and promotes the sharing of creativity and knowledge through free and legal licensing. The attributes for a Creative Commons copyright license is chosen by the owner or author of the work. This means that the creator establishes the conditions and guidelines under which the material can be used by the public with no fees or royalties. What is public domain? Public domain are works that are either ineligible for copyright or have expired copyrights. No permission is needed to use these materials. All works published before 1923 are public domain. Most copyrights are valid for the lifetime of the creator plus 70 years. What guides our decisions? When choosing materials to use in teaching, we must use our own ethical and moral judgment, treat all source materials and their authors with respect, and act in good faith. We always caution students to use materials properly to avoid plagiarization, and as educators, we need to follow the same principles. Please see the accompanying PDF titled Copyright and Fair Use in Education for more information and resources. And be sure to review the supplementary PDFs titled The 5 Principles of Fair Use and The 6 Rules of Fair Use for Copyright Compliance.